Good evening, everybody on the East Coast. Good afternoon, everybody on the West Coast, and good in-between time to all our friends in the in-between spaces, which we all find ourselves in these days more often than not, I believe. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the BRCSJ Center for Social Justice virtual headquarters. Welcome to the Social Justice Power Hour. I am your host and chief activist of the center, Robert Schreiber, and I am over the moon at tonight's guest and tonight's show. We have Nicole Tersigni, author of Men to Avoid in Art and Life. And what I really, really like is that I'm not one of those men that needs to be avoided. So I'm really happy about that at the get-go. And I almost made our guest do a spit take. So that's really great too. I can see her in the green room. It's one of my little perks. Wonderful, wonderful time we're going to have tonight. Really provocative and delightful all at once. And maybe I'll get a word in edgewise, because last night with Thomas Frank, I believe he spoke for about 57 minutes, and then I got and said, "Good night, folks," and it was fantastic. If you didn't see the show, it was powerful. The history of populism and what populism really is, and a lot about Bayard Rustin's place and all that. Really wonderful show, and you know all the shows we've done are on the archive on the Facebook page, so please check them out if so inclined. Speaking of things that are coming up, please do join us. We have our first event at our physical headquarters in Princeton, New Jersey on Saturday. Tomboy X, which is a wonderful clothing company. If you don't know their stuff, you should be aware. They're an incredibly inclusive and intersectional company that focuses on the LGBTQI community, a lot of transgender clothing, and they're beautiful, really wonderful pieces. And they have donated 2 boxes. I mean, I'm talking boxes full of beautiful stuff, thousands of dollars worth of clothing, and we're going to be giving it all away like Crazy Eddie. We're giving it all away on Saturday from 11 to 1. So please come by our HQ, socially distant and safe. So if you don't have a mask on your face, you don't get any clothes on your body. So please do come by. We'll be there from 11 to 1 again. Don't come early because we're setting up. I know you're excited. Come at 11. Because I am sure by 11:17, all the clothes will be gone, but do come out. And we miss all of y'all too. It's been too long. We haven't had the center open since the pandemic started, when we realized that our beanbags being 6 feet apart was not safe enough. We closed our doors physically, but here's the byproduct of that. We opened them virtually and started the Power Hour. So welcome again to the Power Hour. Join us on Saturday if you want to get some great clothes. And speaking of the Power Hour, tomorrow night, we have the great Lynn Zimmer, the creator of Queer Kid Stuff, a TED Talk that gathered together over 2 million folks to watch and listen to it. They will be doing a concert and conversation, so great stuff for some of the kids and great stuff for all of us, and it should be a lot of fun. So join us tomorrow night in concert and conversation with Lynn Zimmer. And then coming up the entire month of September, we are fully booked on the Power Hour, and I am so really honored by the folks that are joining us. And again, they're not joining us to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me. They're joining because of you folks, because of our community, because of what we've built here. So I'm really excited to welcome to the show some of these highlights. Sam Park, who I'm sure you all saw about a week and a half back at the DNC. He was the LGBTQI keynote. He'll be joining us. He is the first openly gay member of the House of Representatives in Georgia. Thomas Frank was on last night. Apologize for that. Elise Hogue, the president of NARAL, Pro-Choice America. Gosh, this is exciting for me personally. I remember having a NARAL sticker on my answer machine in college. For those of you who remember what answer machines are and what college is, I'm pretty excited to have that conversation with Elise. And then further in the month, we have Denise Froman, who is the organizer of Poets for Puerto Rico. Excited about talking to them about that work. Carly Usdin, great film director. Josh Bondelman, author of Nice Try, Stories of Best Intentions and Mixed Results, also a producer on De Susan Miro. The author of The Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo and a few other wonderful books. Jill Twist will be with us. Peter Cooper, who's been doing this work for 3 decades, my friends, illustrator, journalist, writer, and just all-around provocateur. David Princey, renowned folk artist, will be joining us a week from Friday doing pieces from the Bob Dylan Social Justice Songbook. How perfect is that? Jose Pilzon, wonderful educator and activist, will be with us. Author of Evil Geniuses, The Unmaking of America, Kurt Anderson, right now on the bestseller list with our guest tonight. Speaking of bestsellers and authors, Brian J. Jones, author of these biographies: Washington Irving, Jim Henson, George Lucas, Dr. Seuss. Not a bad cast of characters. And finally, Martha S. Jones will be with us. Vanguard, How Black Women Broke Barriers, Won the Vote, and Insisted on Equality for All. New York Times today gave it a glowing review, but beyond that, it's a really important book, and especially for literally right now. But speaking of right now, in the New York Times, I want to bring on our guest, author of this book, Men to Avoid in Art and Life, and it is just this little tiny thing that is so potent and so full of delight and provocation and just such wit. So without further ado, I am thrilled and honored to bring to our virtual stage Nicole Tersigni. Nicole, thanks so much for being with us. Oh, you are. There you go.
Oh,
now you're good.
Okay.
My side of things.
Some tech issues. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
No, we are. I promise you, we are more excited. When I told folks and they saw what the book is all about and what you've done, to me, it's really such an important part of the work we do is to bring a sense of humor to it, bring a levity to it, but also there's a gut punch to it that's what that allows. So can you tell folks the history of what it is and how it started?
Right. So it started actually as a Twitter thread, which is just wild. Really one of those lightning in a bottle kind of moments. I was home. My daughter was homesick from school that day, and I was home. And I was just scrolling through Twitter to kind of relax. I don't do that so much anymore because it's a little more intense there now than it once was. And I saw this man explaining one of my friend's jokes to her, the joke that she had just made, which is something that happens to me all the time. I don't know why, but it's just something that people like to do. And so I did a Google image search for woman surrounded by men, which is what that moment feels like sometimes, online and then also in real life. And one of the images that popped up was the first image that I used in the thread that just cracked me up. It was this woman, she's surrounded by men, it's a painting, and she has her bare boob in her hand. She's holding it and they're all watching her. And so I wrote the joke, maybe if I take my tit out, they'll stop explaining my joke to me. And people loved it. It took off. It started getting, shared wildly. And I just stuck with that theme. I was like, this is super fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to keep doing capturing these little moments in joke form. And I stuck with the painting theme because there's just so many paintings of women that are just staring at the camera, so over whatever is being said to them. And then I just, that thread went wild. It was shared all over Twitter. Like Elizabeth Banks retweeted it, Busy Phillips. It was just going crazy. And then I had an agent, who is my agent now, reach out to me and say, would you like to make this a book? And I said, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And then we put together a proposal and she sent it out to some editors and here we are.
So let's just show one.
Okay.
I feel like I remember this way back in the day when the Far Side was around. I always remember like reading someone a Far Side cartoon. So now we're going to read this cartoon to our audience, right? So, I heard a woman play an instrument and rushed right over to tell her she's probably doing it wrong. And then there's what I love, and this is what I love, there's always a kicker with you. That's enough. Like most of us, this is why you deserve all the accolades. All of us, that would be it. But then you have the guy in the back saying, dude, I already told her.
Got it. Covered it.
That's the kicker right there. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
when you had this epiphany, and and I don't use that term lightly, I love the origin story of this. This is your friend being mansplained. Her own joke was your radioactive spider. So you're bitten by this radioactive spider of Twitter madness, and this fascinates me. I love the mechanics of things. How long was the process between that? When did you have the thought, let me Google search some images of women's, like, was it all fully formed, or was it a process? Was it an evolution?
Yeah, it happened quickly. I saw it happen, and this is something that I've experienced so much, and it's so tiring that I was just like, I'm just gonna throw out a quick joke about it. That's what I like to do with things that are crappy and difficult. I like to find, ways to laugh about them. So I just, went over, wrote up the quick joke, workshopped it a tiny bit in my head, and sent it out. It was very.
Was it always classical paintings? Like, what, that piece of it, where was that in the process? Was that like an immediate?
Yeah, so that actually, when I was looking at the images, I didn't look up classical paintings. I just looked up woman surrounded by men. And there were so many pictures to choose from, and I was just scrolling through, and then I found that perfect classical painting that just made me laugh so hard, of that woman holding her boob. The joke just all worked so perfectly. And then I just stuck with the theme because, like I said, there's so many paintings to choose from.
And you said that and the response was immediate? Was it that?
It was the first tweet really took off. I only had like 2,000 followers at that time, but it was getting a lot of traction. It wasn't until I had probably like 3 or 4 tweets in the thread that it started to really go bananas, like celebrity level sharing. Alyssa Milano tweeted it out, and that was a lot. That really kicked things off.
So I just want to say something.
Yeah.
I want to say that you said I only had 2,000 followers.
Oh.
Like, we just passed like 1,300. We're a nonprofit organization. We're like saving lives every day. We have 1,300 followers. And I'm like, you know what I have to say? I have to say, like, fuck you. I really do, because social media makes me so crazy.
It sucks. It's hard. I've been on there. I've been on Twitter for 10 years, and accumulate. And most of those people are people I'm friends with, like writer friends and things at that point. But I say only because since then I'm up to like 27,000 or something. Really for 24. I don't know what the number is.
You just said, in essence, that I have no friends, because they're all my friends. And basically, really, the accusation there is, we just don't have enough friends. You just don't.
It was subtle, but you picked up on it.
Yeah, I got it right away. My anxiety is capital A. It's there. I hear it and I know.
No, it is so hard. It's so, especially now, to make connections on Twitter and build those relationships. Like, I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's putting in the time is difficult, and it's getting harder. I definitely don't want to be on there as much anymore. It's a
unwieldy beast.
It is, yeah.
And it's confusing as all hell, because you're on Twitter and one person is like, hey, it's great. Look, all the baseball players, they took a knee, and I'm so proud of them, and I want to support them. And then the next tweet is, the baseball players took a knee. You think that's enough?
Yeah.
I don't know who to believe. Which one of you is right?
I know. And you get people who are like, you're not tweeting about this issue. You're tweeting about this. And it's like, there's only one. I'm only one person.
Yeah.
You can only do what you can do. You tweet, you share things that you care about, that make you laugh or that bring you joy or whatever. And, if that upsets people, it upsets them.
And did you feel, once it started to blow up, did you feel a responsibility to be a voice?
Not that I felt the responsibility to be a voice. There was a little bit of hesitation about what I was sharing, because I'm such a dope. I don't tweet smartly. I'm kind of an idiot on there, and I share a lot of like fart jokes and things that amuse me, or I'll tell people to fuck off or whatever. I'm very much myself on there. And so as my platform got a little bit bigger, I was a little bit more hesitant. But then, I can't change who I am. So I am who I am. And if they want to stick around, they can. If not, please follow other people, find what you need on there.
No, I mean, I think that it's important that what's wonderful is it's just almost second nature to you. It's just this, I know this from personal experience, and I see my friends suffering through this. And there's a real problem here. There's a real issue that's being addressed. It's just being done in a very lighthearted way, but that doesn't take away from the seriousness of what it is. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's important to me to be able to make people laugh, especially about things that suck. Like finding the humor that kind of brings everybody together. And actually one of the great things about it has been all of the men who have been like very receptive to it and just being like, you know what, I see myself in this a little bit. I recognize I have said this thing or I have done this thing. And I see, I'm being called out here, but I'm being called out in a way that makes me laugh with you. And so I can accept that a little bit easier, So it's a little easier to take that criticism when you're able to laugh with somebody, or you make them laugh.
But forgive me, and I don't want to get dark or negative, but you have to have had some resistance too.
Oh, sure.
Been, and I'm surprised because I look at your feed and I look at what folks are saying, and it does seem, and I want to know if I'm correct about this, that there's an overwhelmingly more positive response. And I think because of who you are and because of that lightheartedness to it. Like, oh, right. But do you feel that some of it's disingenuous? Do you feel that some folks aren't getting the message because it's going over their head almost?
I feel like probably the case for some people. But largely, I think it is getting received because it's it's so relevant to conversations that are happening, not just in my book, but like on a larger scale and have been happening for, a few years now. It's like the information is out there and the conversations are happening already. So I can inject a little bit of humor into that, which is great, and maybe reaches some different people that would maybe not be involved in those conversations that are happening otherwise. There was something else that you said that I was going to respond to, but I forgot.
I'm here all night, so you get back to me. I'm ready. If in your, because we'll get back to it, I have faith in you. If you just stop talking and you just interrupt me and say, I know what it is now. So name 3 folks that if you were given a magic wand and put your book in 3 people's hands, who would those 3 people be? Where would your book have the most impact?
Man, I am torn because I would obviously want it to go to people who could use a laugh, who can see themselves in it and relate and laugh about something that's maybe happened to them. But I also kind of want to give it to like Donald Trump and be like, look at this dope. We're laughing at you. Like someone who's maybe pretty shitty and we can kind of dig in them a little bit. I don't know 3 specific people though.
Okay. Right. You got the one. So here's another piece from the book. And
actually from my Instagram, these ones are.
Oh, so this is like a bonus. This is bonus content.
Yeah, these are ones that I do on Instagram. I'm also throwing them up there pretty regularly, or trying to. It's kind of, I'm very busy, but I'm working on it.
And you can see, because obviously Nicole needs all our help with her social media. You can find Nicole on Instagram. Our volunteer Chris is in the comment section, and Chris will show that up for all of us to get in touch with Nicole on all the social media. And you can buy the book, by the way. So here is the link. We have a bookshop.org dedicated Social Justice Power Hour book list. as I always say, you buy one for yourself, you buy one for a friend, you buy one for an enemy that will become a friend. You buy one for your local school. This would be great in a school library. And speaking of libraries, as always, and perhaps most importantly, honestly, call your local library, your local public library, and you say to them, hey, do you have a copy of Men to Avoid in Art and Life? And if they say no, you simply request they get it, and they will. And it's a great book that people.
My library.
There you go. So here's another piece from your Instagram. And our friendly man is saying, I don't know if you've ever been sailing before. And she says, this is my boat. And he says, but let me give you some pointers. And again, it's the way you've done it, right? That his text is broken up by hers. You know, as a design, person myself, I love that because you read it that way. And even after she says, this is my boat, this is how I hear it, this is my boat, but he says, it doesn't faze him. He's right there. But let me give you some pointers because you have that beautiful ellipse right there. You have that ellipse that reads perfectly. So this book, well, first these tweets and these social media, all that stuff becomes huge. And then you're doing it. How often would you do it? How often would they, would you propagate a tweet or Instagram post? Is that what you say? I'm such a dullard when it comes to.
I'm new to Instagram actually. Well, not new, but I had a private Instagram where I would just share pictures of my kid. And then the publisher was like, you know what? Maybe you could get a public one just so we can have people.
Give us something.
I know. So then I had to do that, and I was like, well, I guess I'm doing more jokes over there. So the original Twitter thread I did in, I think, like a week or two, maybe a little longer than a week. And then on Instagram, I'm trying to do them like once a week, but that is difficult. But I'm trying to constantly be throwing new content up there. I've got some other book related things in the works, so my attentions are kind of all over the place, but
that's right now during these times, that's the best way to have it, just to have your attention everywhere else, so you don't have to think about. That's
it's a good busy for sure. And my daughter's starting virtual school too this week. She's been doing. We got that going.
How old?
She's 9.
That must be tough for everybody involved.
Yeah, she misses school for sure. But we got her a little, desk set up, and she's got a little plant, and she waters that. It's like, we made it cute and nice for her, but it's not the same.
Well done. Well done, Mom and Dad. We're
trying. We're all trying our best across the board, all of us.
So it's burning up on Twitter, and your agent says we should do a book. You're like, sure, sounds good. You throw a bunch in a book. And again, this is my design geek in me. I'm fascinated to know, what were the conversations around the content and the presentation? Was it always going to be, kind of I wouldn't know because I didn't get my copy, by the way.
I have one to me here.
Oh, thanks very much. That was beautiful. So it's going to be that size.
Sorry. They're printing more. They'll be the end of September. They said they should all be in stock, Bookshop and Amazon, everywhere. So
it's a good problem to have.
I know there's people who wanted it could have it.
We'll get it. Don't worry. We're all thrilled. So it's like this size. It's it's a nice square. And was that always the intent? Were there conversations about how it was going to be presented?
Yeah, so Chronicle is the publisher, and they do a lot of these little gift book things. And so pretty much right off the bat, it was pitched as like a gift book. And there wasn't a ton of conversation around that. I broke the book down into like 5 different types of man to avoid, just to give it some structure. And then did all my jokes, sent that over to Chronicle. Becca, my editor over there, gave me a little bit of feedback, touched those up. And then Maggie is the designer who just did an incredible job with the like blocky text over the images. It's so good. She's just brilliant. Like these, I love these like meme things. She did a great job. There wasn't a ton of back and forth about the design. It was like, oh yeah, that looks good. I like that.
I love Chronicle books. I am a huge fan from way back in the day. I remember, and I'm dating myself right now, and believe me, it's kind of fun sometimes. But they had a series, and like 2 people in the audience will get this, called Griffin and Sabine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the author, but they were beautifully designed, and it was this great kind of amalgam of books and postcards and all sorts of different kind of things you found, and it was a beautiful thing. And I remember they've been a great design house and a great publisher for a very, very long time, publishing important, beautiful, smart stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And it was such an easy decision to go with them because, as you say, they have this history of doing wonderful work, and the people there are all lovely. Everyone I've worked with there has been just delightful, which is lovely.
So tell us. So I want to get into content now. You said that there are 5 types of mansplainers. Will you delineate for us?
Well, 5 types of men, and they all bleed together a little bit, but I wanted to give the book some structure. So I did the mansplainer. And do you want a little description, or are we?
Yeah, please do. Please. Because again, I'm talking too much. I'm putting myself in the corner. I'm putting baby in the corner. It's all you.
Okay, so I have the mansplainer, and this is the guy who explains things to you, usually to women, but anyone can be on the receiving end of mansplaining. And it's about something that you are more experienced, more knowledgeable in, and it's unsolicited and unwanted feedback. You didn't ask for it. They just, do it. They can't help themselves. And then I have the concern troll, who is the guy who uses faux concern for you to undermine you and to belittle you. He says things like, I agree with what you're saying, but you're too angry, or no one's going to listen if you're using swear words, or, that guy. I have the comedian. He's the guy who explains your own jokes to you, but he's also the guy who gets very upset when you don't laugh at his jokes, which are lazy, racist, sexist. They're just like the terrible jokes. They're not funny. And he's the guy who says things like, you just don't get comedy. This is edgy humor, that kind of thing. The sexpert. He is the cis guy who explains your own body to you, like your periods and things like that. The patronizer uses your emotions against you. He's the guy who says things like, I can't talk to you if you're going to get hysterical. That guy. So those are the 5 types of gentlemen in the book.
So let's look at another piece. And one of these, this is one of my favorites. Now, I don't know, is this in the book or is this from the Instagram?
That's on my Instagram, yeah.
Again, this will be bonus content.
Yeah, bonus.
Just print this out and put it in the book yourself. So he is saying to her, you're so beautiful, you don't even know it. And she said, I do know it. And then he pivots. So this is who is this? Because I think this is this is the pivoter. This is a breed.
This is the asshole. He's probably what would he be? Like the concern troll, maybe a little bit of like, you're too full of yourself. People aren't going to take you seriously. That kind of guy, maybe.
I don't know. I think
also talking down to you.
I think this is for the sequel. I think this is for Life 2, Electric Boogaloo, and I think that this is a new breed.
A new guy. He's the pivoter. I love it.
I like and you can use that. You can use the pivoter. You can use that. I give that to you free of charge. And that was a bit of mansplaining right there. Here's the next book. Thank you. Thank you.
Happening in the wild.
All right. So here, this is a GIF.
I always say GIF with a hard G, which I know is not right, but.
So we're going to throw it up. I'm going to take myself out for a minute so people can see this more. And then you can follow along as it goes.
He's terrible.
See what I like about that. So did you have it being a GIF? A GIF?
A GIF. Right? I don't know. I say GIF.
That was some very smart person at Chronicle Books that put that together.
Yeah, they put together these GIFs for me. There's like 8 of them that I was using in the lead up to the release, and they're delightful because what I love about them is that some of them like just end on her face, like zoomed in.
There's a tear, like that when she has this tear.
Yeah.
Here's another one. I'm gonna try to get it up as it. That didn't sound right. Is going to start. So everybody, pay attention. We're gonna have a GIF coming at you right about now. I did it.
You did it. Her face.
Lovely.
I love her face in that one.
Just great stuff. And it's so hard to have. You can see something funny, you can see something witty on Twitter or in an image in and of itself, but your stuff has punchlines. So how does that work? That is what really gets me. Is there's always that, as I said this before at the top of the show when we first started talking, but it bears repeating, that kicker, And I think when you're reading something or looking at an image, when you construct it, are you thinking of that? Like, what's the kicker? What's my punchline? Because you're a writer. That's what you do. So is that always the intention?
Yeah, I always want to just something that makes you like laugh, like that little burst of laughter at the end when you read it. And you're like, oh, yeah, that. Oh, right, that little moment, which is not super easy to do. It took me a while. I had a month to put this book together. And I think there's like 70, maybe 75 pictures in it. But it was hard. And I was constantly workshopping jokes actually with my husband too. I would write them up and I'd be like, Rob, what's not working? What is working? And he would come in and help me and he'd be like, what if you? So that it was nice to have someone else to bounce ideas off of outside of Chronicle, which they were great too. Obviously, Becca, my editor, was awesome for that. But it was nice to get someone who like gets my humor and knows what I'm trying to say and can help me like punch things up a little bit if I need to. So
I think I think that we were talking about that in the green room before the show. If I may, and I hope I'm not betraying any confidences, Nicole came to me as an X-ray. Well, first it was complete darkness, and I could hear her panicking and saying, I can't hear anything, and it was complete darkness. And then it got even better because all of a sudden it was the Blair Witch Project, and there was like this terrifying like infrared image. This is what I want to see for the show. This is how we should do the show. Your lovely husband came in, and and I have to say, and this is important, I think, for our audience and for our community to know how important our partners are when we do this kind of work. For you to have someone to bounce these ideas off of and who knows you so well and can say, okay, this is how your voice stays true. Right. And he came in and he's like, okay, this is the button, this is the button, this is the button.
I don't know how it was infrared even to begin with. I didn't even know my computer could do that.
But now you know, so it could come in useful, like for Halloween. That's a great little. But our partners are so important. And I see it in the center with folks that in the before times when they come to visit and they have these folks who are with them that support their work, support what they're doing. I know that my lovely bride, keeps me honest every freaking day, sometimes for my major annoyance, but it's always righteous. And that's the problem. It's always right. And, it's important we acknowledge that in this work.
Agreed. Not just partners, but like your whole support network. I have so many like close friends that I also would send things to and be like, is this reading right? Because here's what I want to say. And they would, give me some feedback. And it's important to have that like group helping you, your found family or your family, if you are very fortunate, really great family.
It's, your family, your chosen family, those folks, you're right. And you're so right about that network of people that you can go to and say, okay, this is the issue that I'm having. Who do I know that can help me resolve that? Right. And this brings us to our next point. So now the book's out.
Yes.
When did you know? Because just because you're a big deal on Twitter, good for you. But when did you know that it would be a successful book?
So that was actually really wild. The New York Times article came out on Monday, and my book came out on Tuesday. So pretty much right away, because the response from the New York Times was insane. Nobody, even at Chronicle, expected it to be such a huge. Alicia, the interviewer, the reporter at New York Times, wrote a beautiful, long piece on my book, and it was phenomenal. I have to send her some flowers. I keep saying I have to send Alicia flowers. She changed my life. But so that was wild, and the response was just immediately bananas. And pre-orders were going crazy, and then it came out on Tuesday, and that was that week was very, very clear that it was something that people really wanted, and probably needed some laughs.
And then this is where we bring back your partner in this, because that day or the next day after it exploded, what you did on Twitter was just like the cherry on top. You were like, I'd rather you tell folks about it. You knew it was blowing up. You knew that you were going to be big in the Times. You knew that everything was happening, and you told people on Twitter what they shouldn't expect from you. What was on your feed, and will you share that with us?
I don't remember what I said exactly.
It was something akin to, you're all coming on here because the New York Times wrote us up and said, right? And you said,
I was looking forward to bringing down the clientele at the New York Times.
All I got on here is tit and fart jokes. That's basically
jokes. It's what I am. That's who I am. I tweet a lot. I don't know if you know that. I can't remember. There are a lot of stupid jokes, a lot of potty humor, things that make me laugh, a lot about bodies because they're gross and weird.
You're creating that and I'm not saying this lightly, because it's a really important phrase and word to us. You're creating this safe space where people come and they're like, oh, this is really funny. Oh, this is really juvenile. Oh, this is playing to my basest instincts, not my basic instinct, but my basic
a little
different thing. But then you have these really important bits of, and it's art. It's repurposed art. You're taking art and you're using it for a totally different meaning. And I think that is what you were saying before about especially all these guys. I think that there's a different journey for people when they see your work, right? I think for women, and again, I am veering very dangerously into being in the book.
I love to see it.
But it feels to me, it seems to me, that for women, it gives them an acknowledgement, it gives them a recognition of what's happening to them. And there are some people, both men and women, who don't realize this is happening.
Right.
I know this is something that's mansplaining has been a term that's been bandied about for a while now, but there's a whole mess of folks that still don't have that term in their vocabulary. And if they don't have that term in the vocabulary, sometimes they don't have the recognition of what it is, whether it's happening to them or they're happening to someone else.
They're doing it. It's one of the so I didn't read any of the comments in the New York Times. I was trying to avoid. I mostly stay out of all comments, but especially ones about me. But my friends would send me really good ones, nice ones, or funny ones. And one of them was so nice, and it was this 19-year-old woman who said that she felt very seen and validated by the book and the article, and she felt like she wasn't, crazy for feeling so upset about these moments that happen. And that was so nice to read. and to understand a little bit more how people are receiving the book. Because to me, it's not just jokes. Obviously, I'm talking about something important, but I didn't necessarily understand how impactful it would be for other people who have experienced this to get that validation of like, yes, we've been there and you've been there. We're in this together and we're laughing about it. We're able to find some humor in something that sucks. That was unexpected. I don't know why. It was surprising and lovely. And I really enjoy all those comments. I've seen so many and I can't get enough of them.
And nor should you. I mean, I think it's really important. How often do we go out of our way to tell someone they did something right?
Right.
So, and I'm so glad that's happening to you, because one of my questions was going to be, and now it seems redundant. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Can't stop showing you up on your own show.
I feel like Letterman when Terry Garr was on.
Oh my God, thank you so much for comparing me to Terry Garr.
But do you, as you just answered, but I want to reaffirm it, because I feel it does bear repeating. I hope, and you are getting the feeling of how important this is. That they're not just these silly jokes, that they have this people can use this, and maybe it's the question. Here you go. I can repurpose it. Do you find that are people telling you they are actually being able to use this as a tool?
Yes. I've been getting some feedback on that in terms of women talking about their husbands or their partners in very interesting ways. They'll be like, yeah, oh my God, I left this out or their coworkers, is talking about buying them for coworkers and leaving them maybe on their desks or something. But interesting part of it is hearing from art teachers. And one of my friends is an art teacher, and he was saying that he would love to have it in his classroom to show to students to help them learn. And then, I've had art teachers commenting on that to say, yes, that would be wonderful if we could get this in the classroom. So that's pretty cool to think of it as like a teaching tool. I certainly use it as a teaching tool. My 9-year-old took it and ran it with it and read the whole thing. She was cracking up, and now she is, pretty informed.
So that was going to be my ending. We're going to end on a beautiful, very sweet familial note. I'll just say, and what does it mean to your daughter? So now again, but yes. So this is really meaningful for your daughter.
Yeah.
Right. And was that part of the genesis of it too? Did you think of when you saw this happening to your friend? As a mother and as a father, I feel this. You always put it in that context. And my son is 20, but I still, whenever these things that causes me to see someone being vulnerable, it always brings me back to how would that affect him?
Yes.
So is that part of your journey too?
Yes, definitely. I'm always thinking about her in part of my head, how this is going to impact her. And I think that part of it too has been really important for me, to show her that you can be funny about serious things, because that is such an important thing that I had to learn as a kid. I always use humor to cope with stuff, and so to kind of accept that as a normal thing that you can do. It doesn't mean you're messed up or you're taking things lightly. You can take things very seriously and still find humor in them. And I would love for her, and she does, to have that tool in her belt, because I think that's hugely important, especially now. I keep saying that, but we all know it sucks right now, right?
No, yeah, there's no reason not to acknowledge the moment, and I think I think that it's so important now that we're having these conversations. These conversations are of the moment, if not really emergent, because I think that we're at this point where we're finally acknowledging how all our communities can come together and really recognize how our struggles are intertwined.
Yes.
So I think that this book speaks to that too.
I hope so.
And just again, here's one for Chronicle Books. I'm going to throw it out there. Make sure that there's another push for this book on Christmas, because this is a perfect stocking stuffer.
Yes, great gift book.
And hopefully we'll get our copy by then. That's fine.
Hope so. I'm gonna send you one of mine. I have 2 left.
As long as you sign it. So here's one more piece. I heard a woman playing an instrument and rushed right over to tell. Oh, we saw this one at the beginning, but it's worth seeing again. For those of you just joining us, that's another piece. If I had the book, I could have more pieces to show folks. But
I can't hold them up because they're backwards. Are they backwards? I don't know.
No, it's okay. They're not backwards, but
they're not backwards.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, you can do that.
This one.
Yeah.
It's harder to be a white man these days, and she's like, I just want a refill. Oh, I'll show you my favorite one.
All right, I love it. Your favorite one. I'm going to put my favorite.
It just
in the corner to see it.
me.
Oh wait, you're in the corner.
I get it. Wait, hold on. Okay, can you see this? Am I doing it?
Yeah,
okay.
You're not like other girls.
Yeah, he's talking to a statue. His face cracks me up. And that's such an annoying phrase. You're not like other girls. Like, other girls are fantastic.
Oh, so I like that. That's the title of the next book. Other girls are fantastic. I love that.
Other girls are fantastic. It's such a red flag. Like, clearly you don't have very high regard for, half the population. So good to know. So here's more. Well, before that, Carol Watchler. Carol Watchler is our community outreach coordinator here at the center. She's been doing this work for over 5 decades. She's my inspiration. She's incredible. And one of the things that she does is, along with being our community outreach coordinator, and so much more, and being so many people's chosen mother, she is also a breast cancer survivor. And is on a dragon boat team where she, I love that.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to give you that background, because when she says "love that sailboat woman," rubbed her bunches of times.
Oh, Kara, I love that.
Yeah.
Boat. That's so cool.
I can picture her on her dragon boat having some idiot guy saying, "Oh, you know what?" And she's like, "Fuck you, buddy. I know I've been doing this.
I know what I'm about. Thank you."
So thank you, Carol, for being with us as always.
Yes, thank you.
So here's and getting back to, I do have a question which you haven't, answered before I asked it. So thank you.
Wow.
So back to process, because I'm a process guy. So now that you are deep into it, now that it's not just kind of like running with it, and I think at the beginning it was probably like, it was all kind of coming together really quickly. So now you're searching for more, right? Do you have the idea of the punchline in your head first, or do you find the piece of art first, or is it again a combination thereof?
So I have to find the art first. And I kind of make the joke around what's happening in the art, because to me, the funniest, because this is a thing that people do on the internet all the time, the classic art or medieval art with funny, like modern quotes to go with it. But to me, the funniest ones are the ones that reflect what's actually happening in the painting in some way. Like, I have one joke that says something about, hang on, let me find it for you, but it's very specific to what's happening in the painting. And I think that I can't talk and look at the same time. I'm trailing off. You're losing me. This one. Okay. So he's saying, men and women are just different. Men are naturally good with swords, and women are more suited for taking care of children. So you should get the babies down from the ceiling, because there's these like angel babies floating on the ceiling. But things like that make me laugh, that I can like pull in these little things that are happening in the background of the pictures. But yeah, I have to see the painting first, and then the joke. I have, obviously all the experiences and a plethora of stories to draw from, but I don't know what the joke is until I see the painting.
So what is there one in the book that you were most concerned about? You're like, does this push the envelope?
Actually, there was one that nothing that I was like concerned about, but there was one that was tricky for me because it's so clearly this woman who is gesturing to this guy's penis. And it's, like that, this one, okay? This picture was kind of tricky for me. The joke I went with was, most girls only get an unsolicited look at my dick in their DMs. You're lucky to get one in person. And, so she's obviously gesturing. And where there was some back and forth because they kind of wanted it to be about like penis size kind of thing. And I was a little bit, I didn't want to do that because it's a little transphobic. Like I didn't want to step on anyone's, it hurt anybody's feelings. Like that's not what I'm about at all. And so that one gave me it was a little tricky to figure out a joke to go with this. Very clearly, she is like rolling her eyes at this guy's genitals.
Well, that's what I love. Like, so Chronicle Books is like, it's about size. And when I looked at it, I'm like, that's what makes it funny is that you're not commenting on the size. The size in and of itself, that speaks for itself. It's right. You don't have, it'd be redundant. So what you do is you don't do the obvious.
Yeah. So, and that goes back to the comedian guy, the guy who makes those like sexist, racist jokes. It's like the laziest kind of humor. The funniest stuff is stuff that you have to work a little bit toward. You got to put some time in and really make the effort. The low hanging fruit it's just lazy.
And that last one wasn't low hanging fruit. It was pretty high up.
Oh my God.
So this is the book we're talking about. For those of you just joining us, to remind our community, Men to Avoid in Art and Life. It's sold out almost everywhere, but it will be back. So Chris, our volunteer, is wonderful and has thrown up a link right here. This is bookshop.org. The reason we love bookshop.org is they give money back to independent bookstores. So it's a great way online to do something easily, but also not be part of a huge conglomerate that's taking all your money. This is coming back to a lot of independent bookstores like our good friends in Princeton here, Labyrinth Books, and all over the country. So please go to our bookshop.org list. And not only can you buy this wonderful book, which should be your first, but then go find some of the other books, the other authors. There are a good 30 some odd books, and some of them very odd, that are wonderful from all the authors that have been on the show or are going to be on the show in the next month or so. So please do support our authors because they come here and they're telling their stories and, they're doing their dance and they're doing it because they want you not to buy the book per se, but to know about the book and decide for yourself if the book is worthy. And this book is worthy. Well, I shouldn't say that because I've only seen like 4 pages. So there are 4 really good pages in it. The rest of it could be crap. So
could be bad. There's no other pages. I only have 4.
But please, Men to Avoid in Art and Life. Seriously, it's we've had a lot of great books on the Power Hour, and it's a lot of heady reads. We've had a lot of this is something you'll get, and you'll have a wonderful afternoon of a lot of laughter and a lot of smiling, and you're gonna want to share it with other people too. It's that kind of book.
And please reach out to me because I love to hear. I love it. I love to hear which jokes make you laugh or what makes you smile, what makes you happy. Like, if you're having a bad day and you got it and it cheered you up. I love that. I can't get enough.
Or you can find Nicole on Twitter at Nick Cini. Is that the way you'd say it, right?
Nick Cini.
Right there. And Chris again is so wonderful. And, she's also on Instagram at NickCini_writes.
Yes.
So there, and those links on the Facebook page are clickable. So when if you're on Facebook, I've just thrown it as a Chiron up on. I love saying Chiron like I'm on CNN. I feel really special.
Very cool word.
But in the Facebook comments, you'll see that all that is clickable. So please do. Not that we need more followers, so please follow us. Look at Nicole's stuff. How about that? This has been everything I hoped it would be. You have written a delightful book. You are a delightful person. You have a delightful family. And thank you for bringing your voice to us. Thanks for seeing your friend in distress and having an epiphany on how you could create a voice for so many more folks. That is, I think, the essence of being a good member of a community.
Thank you. That's very kind. That's all I want to do. I want to make people laugh and, just bring some joy in the world.
So you said that there's other book stuff. Does that pertain to this book?
I'm not allowed to say any of it yet. They haven't. Right. But it's related. It's all related to this.
All right, I don't want to get you in trouble. Is there going to be like a cartoon? Is there going to be like a?
I don't know. So many things.
I didn't say anything. I said nothing. So here's my ask then. Whenever what this is happens, will you come back to us?
Yes, I will. I would love to. This is so fun.
All right. We want to be there. Obviously, we want to support whatever you're doing, because again, this is the kind of stuff. And by the way, I've been bad because Chris says, thank you, Nicole. Rocket.
Thanks, Chris.
Carol's back and says, that made me laugh very hard.
Oh, good.
Hard part is in the comments, but it's not up on the Chiron. And there are other comments, and I've been really selfish because I've been enjoying our conversation, so I haven't thrown all our community up on the thing. But definitely keep putting them out there. Everybody follow Nicole on Twitter, on Instagram, bonus content for the book that you'll eventually get. And then what we'll do is we'll have a printing party, and we'll print out all those pages and insert them into our books.
Perfect.
And just thank you. Thanks for being a voice, and thanks for being a voice. And I want to end with this. I want to end with the Lou Diamond Phillips story. So I've been holding off, and at least this worked. I couldn't hold off on the daughter thing, and we hit the emotional high point like halfway through. But so this is so great. So as I was going through, like, how are we going to announce your appearance, and how are we going to make it, get as many asses in the virtual seats as possible? There's a great blurb from Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips. And for those of us of a certain generation, that means a great deal.
Uh-huh.
He's very sexy.
He's very sexy.
And there he is. And he says, and I've lost exactly what he said, but he said something about it being like painfully astute or something akin to that.
Yeah, incisively witty, I think, is one of his phrases.
So it was wonderful because I was able to juxtapose the New York Times saying razor sharp New York Times, like stunning says Vincent Canby, razor sharp says New York Times, and then right under that. Lou Diamond Phillips saying, painfully astute or, whatever it is. And I just thought it was very funny. And really didn't think anything of it. And within literally 5 minutes, Lou Diamond Phillips, his own self, has retweeted it.
Mm-hmm. He loved it.
You had that same experience with him.
Yeah. He is so engaging on Twitter with people that follow him. It's kind of incredible. But yeah, I just reached out to ask him for a blurb, and he said, I would love to write a blurb for this book.
Man, you're part of it. See, and you're the other part of it is that's all fun, but you're also part of his journey, because then he sees himself and he's able to look past the, the machismo that is such a part of his, how people see him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this allows him that way to be seen in a different light.
For sure.
And hopefully see himself too.
Hopefully, yeah. See some stuff, maybe change some behavior.
So, but he's wonderful, because then not only did he retweet it, he followed us.
Yeah.
So we have like 101 followers, and one of them is Lou Diamond Phillips. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
Now we've kept you after school, so Prince, be proud of us. We're in the after party now. So I'm going to thank you for your time. You'll come back to us when you can announce what the next thing is, and we'll promote the hell out of it. In the meanwhile, we will follow and like and friend you on all those social media machines. And again, our beloved community is very virtually shy. So I know we had about 300-400 people watching us at the very least from what I'm seeing. And we're asking you folks that Nicole really does love to hear from you. So
I do.
all right. And thank you. And my one last request is I want to say goodnight to our folks. Will you hang out in the green room for a second so I can say goodnight to you personally?
Thank you so much.
And be an X-ray when I get that.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So that is Nicole Tersigni, everybody, author of this book, Men to Avoid in Art and Life. Please do find yourself a copy, and please do find yourself a copy through us, because what we're doing for folks is this supports local bookstores. So bookshop.org, there's your link. It's in the comments section. Chris, thanks so much for all your help every night at the Power Hour. Really appreciate all your support. Chris is in our section every night, and we really appreciate our volunteers. Speaking of volunteers, come out on Saturday for the Tomboy X clothing drop. There's a Facebook event on Facebook. If you're, you can check it out there to get all the details. And then also, please do be with us every night, but especially tomorrow night for Linsamer and Queer Kid Stuff concert conversation, a real family affair, but with a great queer bent to it. So we're going to have big fun all September, all October, all November. We have lots of surprises coming up for you. One of the things we didn't mention is we just solidified we're going to have Mike Hot Pence with us the night of the vice presidential debate, October 7th. Mike Hot Pence is going to do a variety hour as kind of a pre-debate warm-up. So please join us for that as well, and everything else. But thanks for being with us tonight. As always, please be good to each other. Be good to your families, chosen or otherwise. And most importantly, honestly, is be good to yourselves. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow night, everybody, about 22 hours and 55 minutes. Until then, much love and respect as always. Be well, everybody.